Hi, this is Shupriyo from shupriyopanda.com, and today we are going to talk about money. So there are lots of things to discuss about money, and this is the first video that we are going to do on this. There will be subsequent videos that will go deeper into various aspects. So in this video, what I want to do is to talk to you about the different types of money as the economists have identified, and I want to go into the number of denominations that we have in India, and I will also tell you about the functions of money and about the properties of money as well. And finally, we'll finish with the primary function of the Reserve Bank of India. So let's begin. So what are the three types of money recognized by economists? So there are three primary kinds of money, and there are also different types of money that have come subsequently, but the three most important ones are commodity money, representative money, and fiat money. So what is commodity money? So it's basically precious metals like silver, gold, etc. So this is one of the earliest forms of money that humans have been using. Now remember that the bargain system, that is not a type of money. Some people mistakenly refer it as the first system of money, but it is not basically something that was being exchanged of financial terms. So it's not really money that was being exchanged. It was just objects that were being exchanged. So the first type of money is commodity money. Now we come to representative money. So basically representative money is the commodity backed money, and this actually originated because people used to trust all the precious metals like silver, gold, etc. But even though there was a lot of trust on it, there was not a lot of these kinds of things available. So what the people did was they took this commodity, and from this commodity they printed some other types of money like banknotes or some other things which were linked to that commodity. So basically these representative money, they can be exchanged for a fixed quantity of that commodity, which is the actual precious commodity. So basically this was something that we used to use as the gold standard. The gold standard was used by the US even until 1970s. So basically what the system was is that $1 was pegged to a specific amount of gold. So if you took a dollar bill and you went to the Federal Reserve and you asked them for an equivalent amount of gold, then the Federal Reserve had to give it back to you. So basically this is the concept of the representative money, but we don't use it anymore. What we use it in today's economy is fiat money, and this is the thing that is used in all economies, all modern economies as of now. Now fiat money, it does not have any intrinsic value, but it has a value because the government says that it does. So basically it is based on a government decree, and fiat comes from the Latin word which means that it's a binding edict, or it means let it be done. So basically the government said that these currency notes, they have value, and people accepted them. Fiat money is legal tender based on government decree, and only until the time that the people have trust in it. So the trust in the system is a major thing that is driving fiat money forward, and this is what we use in almost all the modern economies. And there are some other types of money also that have been identified by economists. So these are coinage. As the name suggests, these refer to coins. We also have paper money. So paper money is basically the banknotes that we use nowadays, and there's also the commercial bank money. Now the commercial bank money, this is quite interesting. This is basically a kind of fiat money. However, this is created through the fractional reserve system. We'll go into detail about this system in a later video. So basically the fractional reserve system, it creates digital currency, and this digital fiat currency is then used by the commercial banks to lend, and then it propagates through the system. So just make a note of this kind of a money. The other types of money are digital or electronic money. So there are lots of other kinds of modes of electronic money except for the commercial bank money. Commercial bank money can be in the form of cash as well, but usually it's in the digital form. And this digital or electronic money, these refer to cryptocurrencies as well, and many other kinds of currencies which are only in the digital form. And the final currency that we have is the fiduciary money. So these are basically checks. So these things are backed only by trust, not by the government. Now make a distinction between fiduciary money and the fiat money. So basically fiat money is something that people trust, but it also has a government decree. So the government says that this note is legal tender. However, in a fiduciary money, the government doesn't go and say that this check is legal tender, that you can exchange it. But you have a faith in the system and it's backed by trust. So that is what fiduciary money is basically. But these types of money are not the traditional types per se. These three are the traditional types. So they are even more important. Now we come to the denominations of money. So basically India, as you know, uses banknotes, and we also use coins. So how many denominations of banknotes does India use? The answer is 10. So we use the 1 rupee note, 5 rupees, 10 rupees, the 20 rupee note, 50 rupee note, the 100 rupee note, the 200 rupee note that we have started using recently actually. We also have the 500 rupee note. The 1000 rupee note is the one that was actually demonetized along with the 500 rupee note. However, 500 rupee note we came back to using it, but 1000 we have not used it after the demonetization. And we also have the 2000 rupee note. So basically there are 10 denominations, and please remember that only the denominations from rupees 5 upwards are actually printed by the RBI, and the rupees 1 note, this is actually not under the ambit of the RBI. This is under the ambit of the government of India. And also you have to remember that the maximum denomination of the notes that can be printed by the RBI, that maximum denomination is rupees 10,000. So basically in the Reserve Bank of India Act, the act that actually governs this, they have mentioned that the maximum value that the RBI can print and can send into circulation is rupees 10,000. But we don't have that denomination right now. And coming to the coins, so how many different types of coins are there? So there are 10 paisa coins, 20 paisa coins. This 20 paisa coin actually you'll not see these days, and it's mostly out of circulation. However, for listing purposes I have included it, and we have actually 8 types total. So 10 paisa coin, 20 paisa coin, 25 paisa, 50 paisa, 1 rupee coin, 2 rupee coin, 5 rupee coin, and 10 rupee coin. And you have to remember that these coins, these are all minted by the government of India. So all the coins that we have over here, these are all under the ambit of the government of India. So coins and the 1 rupee note, all of these are under government of India. And rupees 5, from rupees 5 onwards to rupees 2000, it's under the ambit of the Reserve Bank of India. And also you have to note that the maximum denomination of coin that we can have as per the Coinage Act of India is rupees 1000. So basically you can have a coin, mint a coin, maximum up to the value of rupees 1000. So that's all about the denominations. Let's move on to the next part. So the next part deals with the functions of money. Now there are 4 primary functions of money. So money can be used as a medium of exchange of goods and services. So what this means is that money, it avoids the coincidence of wants. Now, what is the coincidence of wants? This coincidence of wants is basically the thing that we used to have in the barter system. So when we use the barter system, if I had rice and you had, for example, meat, and I wanted the meat, then I could actually give you rice that I owned, and you could give me equivalent exchange of meat. So this was how the barter system used to work. So there was a coincidence of wants. So you have to want something, I have to want something, and then only we can go ahead and effect the exchange. However, money, it actually overcomes this obstacle because it's a medium of exchange of goods and services, and it doesn't have to have a coincidence of wants. So I can want 5 rupees and I don't have to give you something equivalent. I can give you a good or a service in return for it, and I can get the 5 rupee from you. So this is the medium of exchange concept, and then it's a measure of value. So this money, it's the standard measure in which today's trade is denominated. So all the trade that is done between countries, and even within a country, within the borders of a country, everything is denominated in rupees, right? Everything is denominated in money terms. So basically it's a measure of value of trade, and it's a standard measure. And the third function of money is as a standard of deferred payment. Now what is this? A standard of deferred payment means an accepted way to settle a debt. So any kinds of debt that we have in our modern society, we can settle it with money, and this is one of the functions of money. And the final function of money is as a store of value. So basically money, it can be reliably stored, and it is also stable. So basically store of value is also important function of money, that you can use it and we can store it, and it also remains stable. It doesn't deteriorate. So one of the important one of the important criticisms of this store of value function is that there is inflation. So inflation erodes the value of money. So some economists used to say that because of inflation, this fourth function of money is not being fulfilled. So it's something to think about, that the store of value. So basically inflation eats away at the value of the money. However, since most modern economies have inflation targeting frameworks, and they don't go ahead and have a huge amount of inflation, that's why in the end, the economists decided that the store of value can also be another function of money. Now, coming on to the next thing, it's the properties of money. So money needs to have all these 5 properties so that it can be accepted in the modern society. So these are fungibility. So what is fungibility? Fungibility is basically something like interchangeability. So basically if I have a 10 rupee note and you give me a 10 rupee note, so we can exchange that. So the value remains the same. So my 10 rupee note does not have more value or less value than the 10 rupee note that you have in your wallet. So you understand what I mean. So each of these things are exchangeable, and also the 10 rupee note that I have, if I give it to you, you can give me for example 2 5 rupee notes as well, and I can accept it because it's fungible. So you can break it down and you can exchange it. So the value remains the same, it doesn't change. So the interchangeability aspect. And the next thing is the durability. Of course, money has to be durable, because if it's not durable, means that if it is not resistant to change, then we cannot store it, right? So it has to be durable, it has to be sustainable for a long amount of time. If I keep money with me, it shouldn't deteriorate, it should not just decompose. So that's the durability aspect of it. And it should also be portable. So portability is very important as well, because if you had something that you could not easily carry, then you cannot use it as a medium of exchange so easily, right? And so money is also portable. And another thing is cognizability. So what is cognizability? It is basically the aspect that you can easily identify money. So money, it is something that stands out and you can easily identify it with your own eyes. So it has to be cognizable. It has to be something that stands out so that I can easily recognize it as money. So this is very important. And the final thing is the stability of value. So this stability of value, you can tie it up with the store of value as well. So money, it needs to be stable. It cannot have its value changing a lot. So stability is also another property of money. So this inflation thing also eats away at the stability of the money, right? So physically, the money is stable because it is made up of few compounds that do not deteriorate. However, the value can deteriorate. So understand and just remember about this concept of inflation that I am talking to you about. So the final thing that we have to learn in this lesson is basically the main role of RBI. So there are various questions in the RBI Grade B interview where they will ask you that, okay, you gave me all the functions of RBI. And by the way, if you have not gone through the functions of RBI, I have made a detailed video about all the functions, and you can find it. I'll just put the link over here and you can go ahead and you can check it out. So, but those are all the different functions of RBI. There are lots of functions. So what's the most important function? What's the primary function? So the primary role or the primary function of RBI is to print money and put that money into circulation. So this is extremely important, and this is the main reason why RBI exists. So these functions, this function, it was granted to RBI under section 22 of the RBI Act of 1934. So basically this is why RBI has its inception of sorts. So that is all about the different things about money, and in the later videos we'll go into deep about various other aspects that will also be quite interesting. I hope you enjoyed this session, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.